dog to do what you want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome once again to The Pet Show. Does your Chihuahua have you crazy? Are you being pushed around by your Persian kittens? Do your terriers have you totally terrified? Well, if you love dogs and cats and want to understand behavior almost as well as they understand yours, or maybe you're confused about why your dogs or cats behave a certain way, or just want to improve their lifestyles, you know what to do. Stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. That's right, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, pet lifetime, pet smoozing. It's all here. Everything about your pets right here on The Pet Show. So hop up on my couch. Bring those adorable, furry little buddies with you, folks. It is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never, ever doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. By the way, if you want to join me on the Ever-Growing Pet Show family, if you want to check the face behind the microphone, you can go to youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. We're broadcasting on YouTube right now, or you can go to am870theanswer.com. You can check it out there, or if you're listening locally on your local AM radio station as well. As always, plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions. If you're new to the show, almost every caller that calls into the Pet Show will wind up getting a free gift from me. And it's not like I give away biscuits. I got great sponsors and great friends in the world of animals, so I'll be giving away lots of great stuff. Many times, the items I give away are worth as much as $20, $30, $40, or even $50. So if you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat, maybe you have a question about behavior. Maybe they're jumping. Maybe your dog is humping, or maybe your dog doesn't get along with other dogs, or is not totally housebroken, chewed your house apart, grabbed stuff off the countertops. You get the idea. Or maybe your cat forgot how to use the litter box, or maybe there's another reason, or maybe your cat wakes you up in the middle of the night, or doesn't get along with the other cat. You get the idea. That's what we do here on The Pet Show. Got that right. We help people focus and resolve any issues that they may be having with their dogs or cats, or a lot more likely, any issues their dogs or cats may be having with you. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, let's say you just want to share a story. I always encourage this. We have thousands and thousands of listeners to The Pet Show, and when they're listening to the show, they're focused, obviously, on dogs and cats. So if you have a great story about a wonderful dog or cat that you adopted or rescued off the streets, or just have a great story about a dog or cat has helped you get through hard times in your life, great time to give me a call. Those are the stories that actually encourage other people to go to the shelters, to go to rescues, and do the saving of the animals that need to be saved. And believe me, the shelters all over the country, not just here in Southern California, but all over the country, are really, really full. So we got to get those homes for those animals. And if you have a question or a comment, or just want to share a great story about a dog or cat that you saved or rescued, I'd love to hear from you as well. The phone number here at the Pet Show, by the way, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-KRLA. Or if you're more into numbers, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the Pet Show. I am a happy camper, broadcasting from Arizona, where it's been like the sun for the last couple of months, really, really hot. So today it's going to be like in the 70s. So to me, it's like a down jacket material here in Arizona. I think it's going to be a little cooler in Los Angeles as well. Great time to call me. I got lots of great stuff to give away. Besides the normal stuff, I have the hugs and kisses, the best-selling copies of my book, Dog or Cat, the T-shirts, the hugs and kisses, as I said, the herbal flea spray, the tear stain remover, the Lucy pet food, the doggy lickies, the hip to be square. Besides all of that, I got some great new products that I'll be giving away here on the show as well. Really important for dogs or cats that may be stressed out or having a little bit of anxiety. So if you have a question or a comment, great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, whatever that issue may be, jumping, humping, digging, scratching, or maybe you just want to understand maybe why your dog behaves or your cat behaves in a certain way, and you'd really like to get inside their head and find out why. Well, that's what I've been doing. And I've been talking to you guys. Now, next month, are you ready for this? You're all sitting down, right? Next month, will be 45 years that I've been talking to you on the radio consecutively. No breaks. 45 years next month. We'll have some kind of celebration, I guess. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let me tell you what I have planned for today's show. Coming up, a study from a major university now suggests, you want to get PO'd, listen to me. A study from a major university now suggests that big dogs have larger brains and therefore are smarter than little dogs. Big dogs are smarter than little dogs, according to this major university study. I'd love to hear your take on that. Do you think big dogs are smarter than little dogs? And I'll share my take on that later on the show as well. Having trained as many thousands of dogs as I've worked with, I have a strong opinion in terms of whether big dogs are smarter than little dogs, or maybe it's the opposite. We'll talk about that. What do you think? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. And we spend a lot of time on the Pet Show. We've been talking together for so many years. We spend a lot of time discussing the importance of socialization for your dogs. And I agree 100%. Socialization is probably one of the most important things that you can do. But folks, what about our cats? Are they really as independent as people say? Or do they need to be socialized as well? Get your take on that. I'll give you mine also coming up. And also, pet guardians have put together, it's kind of interesting, they put together the 3 most common concerns they have about their dog and their cat's health. The 3 most common concerns. I'll share those with you coming up. Then I'd like to get your take if you share those concerns alongside of them as well. And this is the big one. If you've been listening to the Pet Show, maybe some of you have been listening for 45 years, or if you've watched me all the years I did TV shows, you know that my entire reputation is based on hugs and kisses. As a matter of fact, when I was living in New York, doing a lot of weekly TV, sometimes I'd walk down the streets and people might not know my name, but they'd point at me and they'd say, hugs and kisses, hugs and kisses. And I just hope the other people around knew who I was at that point. So here's why I brought that up. My entire reputation, as I said, based on hugs and kisses for our dogs. But now the question came up. Warren, I know we love maybe to hug and kiss our dogs. But do dogs really like kisses? Do dogs really like kisses? Maybe not, maybe so. What do you think? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, the way to get through. As always, plenty of time for your questions and comments. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away. So if your dog or cat is jumping, chewing, scratching, maybe that new rescued kitten is confused about the litter box, or the beautiful puppy you picked up off the streets isn't housebroken. Maybe your dog doesn't get along with other dogs. Maybe he doesn't even like certain people, or he believes if he sees it, he's got to hump it. Give me a call. That's why the show's been on as long as it's been, because we deal with realism. I just posted this on my Facebook pages as well, and Instagram. One of the differences between the Pet Show and me, and one of the reasons I'm kind of considered like a rogue in the industry, is I don't believe in the perfect dog or the perfect cat. I don't believe it exists. I believe we ought to let our dogs be dogs within reason, and our cats be cats within reason. Just like that, let us be people. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I just posted that recently. In fact, in the last 10 minutes or so on my Facebook page and my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's Instagram at Warren Eckstein, Instagram at Warren Eckstein. Plenty of time for your calls. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away. So here's my question to you. I literally have been criticized by many people in my profession. I've been criticized by veterinarians sometimes and by people sometimes. And they say, they consider me a little out there. Oh, maybe I am. But here's the question of the day. Does your dog like kisses? Does your dog enjoy being kissed? Or not? Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So, Halloween, and we'll talk more about Halloween next week, but Halloween is coming up soon. And I was invited to a Halloween party. Rarely do I go to parties, but I was invited to a Halloween party, and my lovely wife, Denise, convinced me that this is the one we need to go to. So she said, what are you going to dress up as? Well, when I was a kid, I had very, very poor household, so my costume every Halloween was either a sheet with holes and a nose, and I played a ghost, or as I got older, I would take shoe polish, put it on my face, I would take a stick, tie a bandana to the end of the stick, take my German Shepherd Smokey with me, put a bandana around his neck, and put some makeup on Smokey as well, and we would trick or treat as hobos. We would trick or treat as hobos. So I said to Denise, "Well, we're going to go to this party in the community, and Warren, we dress up as a hobo." She said, "No, you're not. You're not dressing up as a hobo. These people are going to have nice costumes." So I will post a picture next week, but I have this giant Winnie the Pooh head. I may wear it. It cost me $40 for this thing. I may wear it, I may not, but if I do, I'll definitely post a picture. And when I say a giant Winnie the Pooh head, I mean a giant Winnie the Pooh head. That is the truth, and I'll post it. By the way, if you guys are dressing up your dogs for Halloween, and I have pros and cons about that. If your dog enjoys it, I'm fine with it. However, I don't recommend taking your dogs trick-or-treating with you. But if you want to put a costume on them at home and enjoy them, that's fine, but they must enjoy it. Quite honestly, Molly and Willie, they're going to be butt-naked dogs come this Halloween. 866-870-KRLA. The phone number's starting to jam up here, so let me start up by taking a phone call. And we are going to go first to Temecula, one of my favorite areas. Love that balloon festival. Sandra, welcome to the Pet Show.
Good morning, Warren. How are you?
Good. I am doing fine. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm doing great. I wanted to give you a status on my 22-month-old black standard poodle, female. Her name is Joy, and we're the team that's working towards becoming a pet therapy team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and last weekend we earned our second obedience title, the
Mazel
Community
tov.
Canine.
Mazel tov.
I say miraculous, but anyways, I like to keep her in obedience because it builds a good foundation for the pet therapy work.
You know, I've been away from that for a while, but I used to judge obedience titles for the AKC, and, you know, we had the CD, CDX, UD, TD, UDT, all these different degrees that dogs go. I am a firm believer that what training does, if it's done in a positive way, is it really builds up the self-esteem, it really builds up the confidence of the dog that you have. But at the same time, it's real important to be able to read the dog and say, you know what, that's enough. Let's go here, let's go there, and to be able to maneuver and make sure that all of your training is enjoyable for the dog, especially if it's going to be working as a therapy dog in the future.
Yeah. Well, she loves to perform, and she can be a naughty pill until we walk onto the field, and she knows it's showtime, and she turns on her best behavior.
Yeah, well, I tend to do that when I'm on the radio.
Right.
Anyway, that's great news. I want you to definitely keep me posted as you progress along this, because there are people out there that are really in need of a service dog, and there are people out there that are phonies too, but there are people out there that are in need of a service dog, and by you calling and checking in with once in a while, maybe you can encourage them and give them some ideas in terms of where they should be headed as well.
Okay. And then this most important reason I called, I have a situation. My son needs me to watch his Rhodesian Ridgeback Chow 7-year-old male dog.
Yeah.
And next weekend. And he has been here once before. And Joy is still very much a puppy brain. And she pesters the daylights out of him when he was here. How can I make things go smoother this time?
Or put Joy in a room, turn on some cartoons, close the door, and keep her happy. Now, give them plenty of time to spend outside together. Plenty of time where they're not in your home, they're not in your backyard, they're exploring an area where both your dog and your son's Ridgeback, your grand dog, by the way, have the opportunity to pick up the scents of a lot of other animals. So that's what I would recommend at this point. I got to move on, but I know you want me to donate your gift, which I will do, but you promise to keep me posted?
I sure will.
Sandra, you have a great day.
Thanks
and give
so
that
much.
Oh, my, thank you. Give that dog a big hug and a kiss, not for you, but for me as well. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I got a lot of topics. We're going to get to you, Terry in Glendale. We got Nicholas in L.A., Kathy in El Segundo. We'll get to all your calls. I love Kathy's note there. It says the size does matter. We'll talk about that. And that's kind of the story I'm going to do later. But the question of the day is, does your dog like kisses? But if you want to answer this as well, do you believe big dogs are smarter than little dogs, or are little dogs smarter than big dogs? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you, 866-870-KRLA. But a quick break, then right back at you. You know, you love your dogs. Friends, none of them walk upright. We are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. I got some new stuff I'll be giving away from a company called acornpetproducts.com. Check them out. You know, they have some great items there, you know, calming items, recovery items. If your dog's going through surgery, they have vests, collars, just great stuff. Check out, I'll be giving some of their stuff away, but check out acornpetproducts.com. You know, one of the topics for today was this study that came out that suggests that big dogs are smarter than little dogs. Now, let me just go back and why I kind of brought this up. Someone asked me the other day, what was the most amount of dogs you ever trained in one day? I had to think a little bit, and it was 200. Now, I know what you're thinking, Warren, how could you have possibly trained 200 dogs in one day? For years, I was the head instructor for the YMCA all across America, and I would run classes Tuesday nights in Glen Cove, Long Island, and each class would have maybe 50, 60 dogs in it. And I would run 3-4 classes on any given night. My wife, Faye, would help me out at that point as well. So that would be about the number, the most I've ever trained. So, and I got to be honest with you. If you were to ask me, big dogs smarter than little dogs smarter than big dogs, well, I'll give you my take coming up. But let me take a call right now. We're going to go to my friend Kathy in one of my favorite little cities, El Segundo. Hey, Kathy, welcome to the Pet Show.
Thank you, Warren, and it's one of my favorite cities too. It's a great city.
You know what I missed the most? I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there for Christmas this year to go on. What's the name of it? Not Mistletoe Lane, Santa Claus Lane. Help me here.
Candy Cane Lane.
I went there for the first time last year, and I got to tell you, that is the most phenomenal community I've been in. Everyone got along. Everyone on the block decorated their house. It was music playing or families going up and down. If you've never been, you have to check it out this Christmas. Am I right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like the America I grew up in the 50s. I mean, everyone is friendly. The kids are outside playing. People walking their dogs. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it was kids on. It was beautiful.
Smart.
I may have to go.
God gave.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, God gave everybody brains. If we talk about people, big people are going to have bigger everything because it has to fit their body. It doesn't mean they're smarter. Einstein was only 5'7". In the world, that is not a tall person. So the same thing with animals. They're given brains based on the size of the brain is based on the size of the body, but it's how you use what God gives you. And some of the small dogs are so smart because they use that intelligence that God gave them in a wonderful way.
And
so sometimes
the small dogs are so smart. They convince the people they live with that they can't be trained just so we leave them alone. That's how smart those little dogs are. And they are so cute. But, you know, it's interesting that you said that. I remember years ago, and everyone knows my specialty was teaching dogs to sniff out narcotics and incendiary devices, bombs, as well. However, there are certain areas where the big dogs can go, certain parts of an airplane, fuselages that they couldn't get into. So some of the smaller dogs were absolutely incredibly trained to do that same job. So I am a firm believer that the size of the body has nothing to do with intelligence. But I'm going to read this story in a little while, and we'll get some more takes on. But great call, by the way. So what kind of dogs do you have there, Kathy?
I have a Sheltie.
You know what?
A Shetland sheepdog.
I know what a Sheltie. Believe me, I know. I've trained more Sheltie. And let me tell you, if you're talking about the genius and the Einstein of the dog world, you're talking about Shelties. But sometimes I get calls from people say, I have a Sheltie, I can't train him. Well, let me just say this for the record. The smarter a dog is, very often, the more difficult they are to train. It's just like a bright child. They question it. And that questioning is really good. But some people get frustrated and look at that questioning as a lack of intelligence. And I say, hey, listen, if someone tells me to do something I don't want to do, I'm going to challenge them as well. So I have a firm belief that what you put in is what you get at. Anyway, don't get around to put you on hold, and I am going to send you, for your dog, I'm going to send you some Hugs and Kisses, my own Hugs and Kisses supplements for your little dog. Great call, by the way. Hey, the phone number, 866-870-KRLA. I'm going to take a break in a minute. When we come back, we have Terry in Glendale. Terry, you're going to make me work. I don't know how I'm going to answer your question. She has 5 Persian cats that are pooping all over the house. 5 of them. We'll try to help her out. We have Nicholas. We'll get to his call as well. We have Daniel with a scratching cat. We have Lorraine in Westchester. We're good with raccoon problems, Lorraine. Don't go anywhere. I know my raccoon stuff pretty well. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Is no one going to answer my question? Are you guys going to embarrass me? Come on now. Does your dog like to be kissed? Now, I'm not advocating kissing every dog, but does your dog like to be kissed? I'll give you an example. I grew up in New York. My friends don't hug each other. We shake hands. That's the way I grew up. We don't hug, except my mob clients. That's a whole different ballgame. However, when I moved to California, I realized that as I met people, guys hug each other out here. I'm fine with that, but it took me a while. I said, Denise, this guy, it took me a while to adjust to that. I was unaware of that. So a lot has to do with how you were brought up as well. It's fine now. If you want to hug me, go ahead and hug me. But it was different for me growing up. I would honestly say the entire time I spent in growing up on Long Island, my years in the military, my years in Southeast Asia, I don't remember being hugged by other guys until I got out of the service. And I guess I moved to Southern California. Now hugging's all over the place, and I think it's a good thing. Maybe it's better that men finally came out of their shell. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break, then we'll get back to all of your phone calls on Warren Eckstein. And yes, you are listening to The Pet Show. The day is, does your dog like kisses? Or does he just put up with them? Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-KRLA. Let me get back to the phones right now. We're going to get to all your calls. I probably got Terry, Nicholas, Daniel, Doug, and Lorraine. But right now, let's go to Terry. I'm going to try to help you, Terry, but this might take 16 shows. Terry, welcome to the Pet Show in Glendale. I'm reading you have 5 Persian cats, and they go crazy and poop all over the house. Tell me quickly why you have 5 and what's going on.
Well, Warren, we have 5. Are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, we got 5. We had 6. One, after being with us for 11 years, died a couple weeks ago. And so we have 5 Persian cats, all beautiful cats, each one a different personality.
Sure.
But once in a while, they seem to go, and we can't figure out who it is, but they poop in the sink, in the bathroom, in the bathtub, on the floor, next to the litter box. And we can't figure out because it just comes in a wave, and then all of a sudden it's peaceful again.
Well, there might be something more going on here, okay? There's a couple of ways you can prevent the cat from going in the sink and the bathtub. All you need to do is whenever you leave the house for now on is leave an inch or 2 of water in the sink and an inch or 2 of water in the tub, and the cat's not going to go in there. But I'm more concerned about finding out which cat is having the problem. Is it a recurring medical issue? Is the cat arthritic and having pain and doesn't feel comfortable getting in and out of the litter box? Is he being bullied out of the litter box? I'm assuming you have a litter box for each cat?
No,
well,
we
you
have
should.
A couple of large ones, but
no. I don't. You can have.
They're in different rooms.
Listen, I have all that. But I don't care if the litter box is the size of a cement tub. You need a litter box per cat. With that many cats, if you just had 2 or 3 cats, maybe 1 or 2 litter boxes would be enough. But with 5 cats, you need a litter box per cat, at least for now. But the most important thing I want you to do right now is we need to figure out which cat is doing it. Is it a cat that may have some physical issue? So what I'd like you to do is get some food coloring, whatever color you decide on. Every day, put a little food coloring and just a drop of milk and just give it to one of the cats. This way, if you notice that the urine outside of the box is purple or blue or red, then you know that's the cat that's having the problem. And I would first of all, get a good physical checkup for that cat before you type any type of corrections. But with 5 cats, I got to be honest with you, 5 cats, it sounds to me maybe one of the cats are more of a bully. One of the cats may have had some constipation or maybe some diarrhea, doesn't feel comfortable going into it. Maybe one of the cats is a little bit older, and with the arthritis, they're not comfortable going in and out of the litter box. So before we try to overall correct the situation, I really think the first thing we need to do is find out which cat it is, and that's where that food coloring is really going to make a big difference. Once we've done that, then call me back and we can make a decision whether it's a vet situation or whether I should handle it behaviorally. How does that sound, Terry?
Sounds terrific. You use regular food coloring of different colors, and then
you just need one color, just one color. Give it to one cat at a time. And we'll figure out eventually when you find accidents outside, we'll figure out which cat's doing it. If you give it to one cat and there's accidents outside and it's not colored, we know that's not the cat. So little by little, it's going to be a little investigating. It's going to be like the thin man and his wife. But give it some time. This is the way to do it, because it's really not proper to try to correct the cat for an issue when we don't know which cat is doing it, number one, and we don't know why the cat's doing it. So that's what we need to do at this point, okay? In the meantime, what I'm going to... Go ahead.
What color? What color?
Blue, purple. I'm colorblind. I don't blue, purple. I don't know.
I got it.
I got it. Yeah, whatever color. Anyway, don't go. In the meantime, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you a copy of the cat book, because that's going to help guide you in terms of why this may be happening. But more importantly, give me a call back. We'll go a little bit further in the future. And that's so important. You know, some people, just correct the cat, yell at the cat. No, I need to find out why. If you want to resolve a problem, find out why the problem is there in the first place. That's what I would suggest doing it. We are going to Nicholas in L.A. God, Nicholas, tough questions today. Hey, Nicholas, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear, but here's the deal. Nicholas's question is kind of interesting. Can I train a cat to be a good mouser but not kill birds? You want the quick answer or the long answer? And the quick answer and the long answer are the same. No.
No.
No. Can you turn down your radio? Turn down your radio.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Okay, the reason I say no, okay, is that when cats kill these animals, it's kind of like a gift to their guardian. And you can't differentiate whether it's a bird or whether it's a mouse. But if there's a situation, for example, barn cats, for the most part, are not going after birds. They're going after rats and mice in the barn. So whatever's more prevalent is going to be more apt to what they're going to go for. There's no way specifically as a behaviorist that I can say to a cat or teach a cat, well, you can't go after the bird, but you can go after the mouse. It's a little bit beyond it. And I got to tell you, I've been doing this for a few weeks, and I don't have an answer for you, Nicholas. I wish I did.
Fascinating. Thank you. I searched the internet quite extensively, and I thought you might have some esoteric knowledge.
Yeah, well, there are things, there are ideas that I may have, but why? I guess you don't want the birds being hurt. Is that what the problem is?
That's right. I think a cat would be great for my parents, and they don't like mice, but they love birds.
So let them keep the cat in the house. That's where the cat should be anyway. Let them have an indoor cat. Yeah, let them have an indoor cat. With an indoor cat, they have the opportunity of keeping the cat safe. If a mouse does get in the house, the cat's going to go after it. They can take the time and maybe teach the cat to walk on a leash and harness or put a little outdoor enclosure. But your parents are seniors, I'm assuming. So therefore, we want to make sure that life is as comfortable as possible. So putting an area outside that's safe for the cats to be in, and we don't have to worry about them going after birds, and inside, making the inside interesting, I think that's the way to go. So I think my answer to you is, if you were to say to me, Warren, what can I do? I would say, Go out, adopt, rescue a cat for your parents. Keep it an indoor cat. I think that's going to make all the difference in the world as long as you make the indoors, outdoor interesting. What I'm going to do, Nicholas, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm also going to send you a copy of how to get your cat to do what you want. And the reason I'm going to do that is a lot of people, and maybe your parents grew up that way, where people that had cats would just let the cats run around outside. I grew up on Long Island where people would just let their dogs run around outside, and the dog would become pregnant. But every once in a while, a dog was killed by a car or an oil truck, or a cat was run over, or a dog got a cat. I'm way too close to my animals to take that shot. So I believe at this point, especially with your parents, an indoor cat's the way to go in how to get your cat to do what you want, which, by the way, is one of my best-selling books. There's a lot of information there that will help you make sure that the indoors is outdoor interesting, and therefore you won't have that same problem. I'm going to take a break and wake up. Lorraine, you're going to be up next with your raccoon problem. And then after Lorraine, we have Daniel with a cat scratching chairs. We're going to get to getting my friend's dog not to bark at a guy I work with. We'll get to that as well. We'll get to all your calls. The phone number, great show, by the way. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. Let me just share this with you. And I do want to hear from you guys about kissing dogs. My whole reputation is kissing. Do you believe that dogs like to be kissed or not? Give me a call. But let me share this. We just had a question or a response. A study suggests that big dogs are in fact smarter than little dogs. Scientists at the University of Arizona, not too far away from where I live right now, have discovered that dogs with larger brains outperform smaller dogs in some cases, but not all. In particular, they discovered that larger dogs have better short-term memory and self-control than smaller dogs. Well, I don't agree with that at all. And what do they mean outperform? There are certain things little dogs that can do better than big dogs, and vice versa. So smart dogs are harder to train as well. I think they're equally as what you get in, what you're going to get. So smart dogs, big, small, makes no difference, medium. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a quick break, and then we'll get back to your phone calls. Listen to me carefully, okay? So we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Phones are pretty well jammed. We got plenty of time, a whole hour to go. But right now, let me go to Lorraine in Westchester with a raccoon problem. Hey, Lorraine, welcome to the show.
Hello, Warren. First of all, I'd like to thank you for all the wonderful advice you give and all the work you do with rescue animals.
Well, I could not do it without you guys, so thank you for that. But let me throw it back and thank you as well.
Rescued.
Yeah.
Yeah, every animal I've ever owned has been a rescue. And I even saved a little black kitty that showed up in my backyard one day. And she got fixed on Halloween, so her name's Morticia. And even she likes it when I kiss her little head.
Well, there you go. We're going to find out more about kissing a little bit later. But so tell me about your raccoon scenario.
Okay. It's an absolute nightmare because my dog barks all night long. Sometimes I get like 3 hours sleep, and I don't blame her. I never even get mad at her because I know she doesn't like the raccoons in my backyard. They live under my deck. There's a small opening that I never managed to get anybody to close. So there's 5 of them at least. There might even be 6. And every night they come out, and then at 5 in the morning, I can hear them up on the roof getting ready to go back under my deck. And I don't know what to do because I can't get it enclosed until we get them out.
Well, let me tell you what we're going to do, okay? You might have to find somebody that's pretty agile to help you. But when it comes to moving raccoons around, you've come to the right guy. What you want, here's what I want you to do. First of all, you need to find somebody that will put a light underneath where they are, and it's the type of light that is triggered by movement. You can buy that for like $19 online now. We need to get a light there, so
yeah,
every time
I already have one of those. That's how I knew they were. Is it the kind that goes off and on by itself, or does it stay on? No, it goes off and on whenever it senses something.
Okay, that's good. So that's one thing right there. The other thing I'd like you to do is get yourself a radio that's battery operated, put it underneath where they are, leave the radio on a talk station all night long for them. I'm telling you, KRLA can get rid of a lot of raccoons. That's number 2. Number three is I want you to go to a local grooming shop or a barber shop, whatever you need to go to. Ask them if they can save some unwashed human hair or dog hair for you. Take that human hair or dog hair, put it in pantyhose or a stocking. Yes, I said pantyhose or a stocking, and then put that underneath there as well. Sometimes the scent of that hair, unwashed hair from a dog, will be enough. There are other things you can do. You can try some coyote urine, which you can get crystallized online. The other things that you can do as well, besides the coyote urine, is... Now, I think that's where we're going to go. I think what I want you to do right now, call me back, we'll go to coyote urine another time. But right now, the light that goes on and off, I want you to use that radio. I think that would be important as well. And the hair of the dog or the hair of a human. Now, in a worse scenario, there is a product on the market. It's a motion detection water hose. So it looks kind of like a swan. If you can put it in that area, and what happens is when the raccoons walk past it, it's going to squirt water. That's enough also. So you need to put all those pieces together. That's the humane way to get rid of the raccoons, and maybe they'll hang out at your neighbor's house instead of yours. But that's what I would be doing at this point. Not going to happen overnight, but if you do it little by little, I'm sure that you will have a raccoon-free sleep, I promise.
Oh, what does the radio do? Disturb them?
Do you ever listen to people on radio?
Always. I always listen to you. And I listen to
the human voices sometimes are enough to scare them off, especially either human voices or maybe you should play some heavy metal music. But whatever you want to play, but the sound, constant sound of other things under there is enough to get the raccoons to move. Take it from me, I promise.
Okay, so what do you think? Okay, I'll try the radio. I don't have a battery-operated radio. But
try the radio. You're going to get some hair. You're going to put hair in pantyhose. You're going to put pantyhose under your house. Let your neighbors know what you're doing before they put you away, and it's going to be fine for you. I promise the raccoons will be gone. If not, we'll go a little bit further, but that's where we need to be right now. I got to move on, Lorraine, but I know you want me to donate the gift in your name, which I will do, to a local rescue or humane organization. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. 866-870-KRLA. That is the way to get through. We got plenty of time. We'll get to you, Marsha, Daniel, Jason, Doug. We have a whole other hour to go, so I will get to you, I promise. Lots of great stuff to give away as well. But right now, speaking of one of the items I give away, if you are not giving your dog my hug on the Pet Show, I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. We have a couple of minutes before the top of the hour. I'll try to squeeze in a call here, but then we got a whole other hour to go. So if I don't get to your call, wait. I'll take you guys in order. You'll be my first calls coming up, and we're going to break just for a couple of minutes at the top of the hour. Let me see if I can at least help out Daniel now in Oxnard. Hey, Daniel, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren.
How you doing, Daniel? How can I help you today?
Yeah, I got two chairs, and I want to know what I can put on those chairs to keep my cats from scratching them.
All right, there's a couple of things. Number one, do your cats have a lot of other places in the house of their own to scratch on?
Yes, they do.
Tell me what they are.
They got scratch pads, and then they have an old sofa that they scratch.
So you let them scratch on an old sofa. So how do they differentiate between the old sofa, the furniture on? How do they differentiate between the furniture, the old sofa, and the new chairs? How are you expecting them to differentiate between those two?
They're going to be about 10 feet away.
Okay, but still, they're still scratching on fabric. You're letting them scratch on fabric. So they go, well, I can scratch on this fabric, but not that fabric. So there's a lot of different things that we can do. Number one is I would make sure you get a lot more things for them to scratch in the house. Now, again, you don't have to be expensive. You hear me talk about cardboard boxes every day. Bring in cardboard boxes every day. They're free. It'll give the cat the opportunity to be territorial, getting and marking all those scratching boxes in the area. The other thing I would recommend that you do in the area or the chair that the cat is scratching right now, what I would do at that point is around the base, you might want to put some aluminum foil on the floor. Cats do not like walking on aluminum foil. You may want to put some strips of double stick tape on the side. You know what? I'm not going to rush you. Don't go anywhere. Hang in there, Daniel. I'll finish your call when we come back. After that, we are definitely going to be going to Doug in Valley Village. Great question, By. He's got a friend's dog that barked at the guy he works with. We have a stray cat befriending someone, and we have someone who thinks different dogs are mixed and may vary. We'll get to all your calls. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. And you know, guys, my reputation for all these years is hugs and kisses. So the question comes up, do your dogs like being kissed or not? Give me a call. I'll send you a great gift if you get through. Do your dogs, in fact, like being kissed? Or I just tolerate it? Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show. Why they behave the way they do, or perhaps how to resolve any issues you may be having with them, or any issues they may be having with you. Maybe you're confused about their behavior. Maybe they're confused about your behavior. If you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat, great time to give me a call. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. Just a reminder that everyone that calls into the show gets to talk to me live on the air. Will get a super gift for their dog or cat. Many of the items worth as much as $35, $45, or $50. So great time to give me a call if you have a question or comment. Just want to share a great story. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me do this. First of all, let me correct myself, and then we'll get right back to Daniel, Jason, Doug, and Marcia. I opened the show, if you were listening at the beginning, saying, in my entire life, I only dressed up as one person for Halloween, and that was a hobo. I put black, I was a poor kid. I grew black shoe polish on my face and a bandana and a stick from the weeds in the backyard. But this year's different. I told you earlier, I went out and Denise said, you got to get this head. And I told you it was Winnie the Pooh. But I'm not Winnie the Pooh. Sorry, Alex, my big head is not Winnie the Pooh. I was corrected. It's Scooby-Doo. So I'm going as Scooby-Doo, not Winnie the Pooh. Just have to make that correction because I know that's what everyone's hanging on out there. Hey, the phone number, 866-870-KRLA. Hey, before that last break, we were speaking to my friend Daniel in Oxnard. Daniel has a cat that's scratching his furniture. I had asked Daniel, where is he scratching? And he seems to be allowed to scratch on a couch or a sofa, but he doesn't want him scratching on other chairs. Once you let your cat scratch on fabric, you're teaching him that fabric's okay. It's like giving a dog an old shoe to chew on. He doesn't know the difference between an old shoe and a new shoe, whether you bought the shoe at the 99-cent store or at a Gucci store in Beverly Hills. So letting a dog or a cat do one thing at one specific place, not a great idea. So right off the bat, that sofa should be taboo in terms of the cat scratching. What I'm encouraging you to do is to bring in new items on a regular basis. Not expensive, cardboard boxes, paper bags. I say that every day. I repeat it 10 times before I go to sleep there, Daniel. That's number one. Number two, what I would do, sometimes just rolling up tin foil and putting it by the bottom of the chair, sometimes that's enough to work, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we have to go a little bit further, and what we need to do is take some double stick tape and put it where the cat is scratching. This way, when he scratches, it kind of sticks to his feet, doesn't hurt him, but he gets the idea maybe there's a better place for me to go find to scratch. So that's number two. And in extreme cases, and I very, very rarely used it, but every once in a while I get the call from someone who said, it's, if the cat doesn't stop chewing my antiques or scratching my antiques. So in extreme cases, I've gone to using balloons blown up with the double stick tape, so when the cat scratched, the balloon would break. But I don't recommend that at this point, Daniel. I just want you to follow the advice I gave you. I think the most important thing you can do, it sounds like a cat that's being a little territorial, sounds like a cat that needs to get some excessive energy out, bringing in those cardboard boxes, being creative, make a little condo or duplex. I think that's going to make all the difference in the world for you in getting the scratching down. But from now on, get rid of that old thing, not allowed to scratch on that old sofa anymore, because you're encouraging him to scratch on furniture. Does that make sense to you there, Daniel?
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Can I spray something on the chair that would deter the cat?
Yeah, but why do we want to deter when we can educate? See, that's the thing I always have. Yeah, you can deter the cat. You can get their sprays on the market, bit of this, bit of that. Some of them work, some of them don't work. They have scat mats, a little electric match you can put around, which I don't believe in. So I think the best way to do it is to educate the cat rather than always correct. Educate the cat and say, you know what, you got all these new things to scratch on. Why bother scratching on this old chair when you got this brand new box that came in? It smells like fried chicken or steak or whatever that you brought in from the supermarket. Anyway, listen, don't go anywhere. Daniel, I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you some Lucy pet food for your cat on its way to you, and I appreciate that phone call. You know, it's interesting, though. It's like the person who, when the dog is doing something wrong, the dog's chewing, they'll take something away from the dog and give the dog something else that's kind of similar, and you're not resolving the issue, you're just actually increasing it. No different with the cats. Cats have scent glands on the bottom of their feet. Maybe territorial, maybe the nails are too long, maybe the cat is just bored. It sounds to me like there's more boredom involved than anything else. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Doug, we're going to get to you. Doug, you're going to be up next, and then it's going to be Marcia, and then it's going to be Jason. I still got a couple of open lines right now, so if you have a question or a comment, great time to call me. I still got Lucy pet food to give away, dog or cat, hip to be square treats. I got hugs and kisses to give away. I got copies of my books to give away, dog or cat. I got all natural herbal flea spray to give away. I got joint aid to give away. I got those calming discs for your dog or cat's collar. Lots of great stuff to give away. Plenty of time to answer your questions and comments. Again, that number 866-870-KRLA. Just before I get back to you guys, and let me just share this with you. You know, my reputation for over 45 years has been hugs and kisses. I remember when I was doing Regis and Kathy Lee, every time I'd walk on the set, we'd say, there's hugs and kisses over there. Kathy would, hey, there's hugs and kisses over there. Bottom line, let me share this with you. Do dogs like kisses? That's the question of the day. We can throw it at the cats as well. Most dogs do, but not all. It's important to watch your dog's body language. If they have their ears pinned back, show the whites of their eyes, or tighten their mouth, they're probably not enjoying the kiss. On the other hand, many dogs may learn to love this human behavior simply because it makes us happy. So do dogs like kisses? For the most part, a resounding yes, they do, keeping in mind that they interpret kisses differently. Find the best way to show your love, as not all dogs are comfortable being kissed, but there's always one way to show them how much you love them. But my dogs from day one, they've always absolutely loved being kissed. And my little Molly, Molly, that's my little black rescue dog, and Willie, but Willie loves to be kissed, but not the same. Molly, if you were to put your lips on Molly and kiss her 24 hours a day, she would still come back from her. This dog absolutely loves to be kissed, and where's her favorite spot? Her belly. Yeah, I kiss her belly. She loves her belly being kissed. So do your dogs, that's the question of the day. Give me a call. If you, yes or no, I'll still send you a great gift. Does your dog or cat like to be kissed? 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. Let's go to Doug, and we take you guys right in order. Let's go to Doug in Valley Village. Hey, Doug, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. Thank you. I'll give you the background on the dog real quickly. My friend, who's also works here at my office in the backyard, had the dog. It's a 7-year-old Akita. He's had it since it was a puppy. It's virtually by his side 24 hours a day until he lost his apartment a few months ago. So he's working in my backyard office, and we're letting the dog sit in the backyard. And, eventually a client comes, a new person comes. But one of my other associates, he hasn't liked from day one. And I think the first meeting as he came to the gate, the dog's owner was not there to kind of introduce him.
Yeah.
And I think my other guy, when he came and the dog was barking at him, I think he didn't really address the dog properly, nicely. And so ever since then, he's hated this one guy. Everybody else that comes and goes, he'll bark at first, and then he'll get introduced, and then that's the end of it. But one guy, he just hates and viciously barks at.
Well, tell me about this. Tell me about this one guy. Is he big? Does he have a beard? Does he wear a hat? Does he have a deep voice? Is he an animated type person?
he's short. He's like 5'4", 5'5", and not really threatening in any way. But I don't think he has really good experience being around dogs and stuff. And
well, here's what I would recommend. This is an Akita. I'm very familiar with the Akita. Beautiful, beautiful Japanese dog, an amazing dog.
Yeah.
How much training has this dog actually had?
Well, the dog's well trained, well behaved, and
so let me ask you a question. When the dog is growling or being upset with this person, does the person who owns the dog have control at that point?
Well, if Willie comes to the gate without, texting us first that he's coming, the dog will immediately run over there and start barking at him, and then the owner will go out and grab him and say, Kumo, shush, hold on, and
so what's happening is the dog is reacting to the gentleman coming, and then the owner of the dog is going out there and correcting the dog for what the dog thinks it's doing instinctively and naturally. Let's get right to the bottom line here, okay? Obviously, the introduction of the dog to this gentleman did not go the way it should go from the first time they met. That's number one. And dogs learn through association, so he associates this guy coming there with something negative. How do we reverse that? Well, it's called counter-conditioning. What I'd like to do is I would like to have your friend with the Akita walk the dog. And when he's walking the dog, have this other guy that you work with maybe walking down the block halfway. He already knows the dog's name. Maybe he has one of the dog's treats or toys. Just walks by the dog, hands it to the dog or hands it to the guardian and walks away. What we want to do is we want to now make sure that every time the dog sees this gentleman that he's being assertive with, something positive happens. It's called counter conditioning. The dog obviously had a bad reaction to this person. The way to resolve it is from now on, because dogs learn through association, is every time this person around, something very, very positive is going to take place. The establishment of the dog being assertive happened at this location. That's why I'm recommending different locations to reestablish the relationship between the dog and this person that he's not liking. That's not going to happen overnight, but if every time for the next week or two or month that the dog sees this person and it ends with something positive, a treat, a toy, hello, how you doing, and then the person leaves, that will resolve the issue for you. But it's not going to happen overnight. You got to be cautious and conscientious. But right now, it's the introduction away from where the initial introduction took place, where the aggression took place. That's where you need to be.
Okay. Yeah, that's workable. Yeah, because the guy who gets barked at, he parks down the street. So
is he a nice guy? Is he a nice guy? Be honest. Is he a nice guy?
Yeah. It's just, and I had a problem recently with some other friends' dog with the way the dog reacted to me when I was first meeting the dog. One of the owners of the couple said, "Oh, he likes to jump on people, so we apologize." But then he kind of pulled the dog back and said, "No." And I think the dog decided, well, I got in trouble because of you, so now I don't like you.
Well, I don't think it went that deep, but I think by pulling the dog back is what makes a dog more aggressive. When you're training a guard dog, by pulling them back, they become more assertive at that point. I want you to follow my advice. I want you to keep me posted. We will, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm trying to think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your dog, for that dog. I'm trying to think of what I want to send you. There's a lot of things I could send you, but I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food. Oh, no, better yet, I'm going to send you some Hip to Be Square. Suzette, I'm going to send Hip to Be Square treats for the dog. This way you'll have those treats for your friend to use with the dog, and hopefully we can get those pieces together. Not overnight. You got to be cautious at the beginning, but little by little it'll happen. Great time to give me a call. I got a couple of open lines. Pretty rare here on the Pet Show. I still have Lucy pet food to give away. I have hugs and kisses to give away. I have T-shirts to give away. I have those calming discs from Acorn Pet Products to give away. By the way, if you've not checked checked out their website. Go there, acornpetproducts.com. Check it out. They got some interesting products, especially if you have a dog that may be kind of moving into those senior years or with certain challenges. So check out acornpetproducts.com. A quick break, then we come back. Marcia, Jason, and Doug got a couple of open lines. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Listen, the cats strut here on the Pet Show. Remember to spay and neuter your pets. There's no need to have strays out there. If everyone would spay and neuter and take care of their dogs and cats, boy, the shelters would be absolutely empty. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. Great time to give me a call. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Question of the day, does your dog like kisses? Does your cat like kisses? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. Just before I get to your phone call, Jason, Marsha, and Gracie, I want to talk about this for a second. You know, due to the lifestyle many cat guardians lead, some cats tend to spend a lot of time alone, a lot of time by themselves, which may be okay, but may not be great for every cat out there. Cats they're actually highly social animals. Sometimes they just present themselves differently than other pets. Some need their socialization focused on play, some on food, and others are interactions with their humans. You know, for those people, my cat doesn't want to play, my cat doesn't want to do this. It's just as important to socialize your cats as it is to socialize your dogs. But the problem is, even people in my profession, well, it's a cat, cats do what they want to do. That's not true. It's not true at all. Cats are really social animals. Just take the time to socialize them, and you'll find out exactly what I'm talking about. Anybody agree or disagree that cats are social? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. I'll send you a great gift, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me get to the phones right now. Let's go to my friend Marsha in South Pasadena. Hey, Marsha, welcome to the Pet Show.
Oh, hi, Warren. My initial response to what you just said, I don't want to take a lot of time, but honestly, I think a lot of people, they use the animals for what they want, and they don't care about what's good for the animal. For example, the person saying, I want them to only eat the mice, whatever, okay. And people that use them to just be like, instead of buying a security system. But let me go back.
Sure.
What I want to know is, honestly, okay, I'll quickly answer. I don't believe the size of the animal has any influence on the intellectual propensity, but maybe the physical size has something to do with them being able to do something else, but it doesn't affect the intellectual from my experience. And then also, if we would apply it to people, then would all of our, the people that win the Nobel Prize have to be 6'5" or something? Okay? That's stupid. And I don't know I don't know who the people doing that study were. But what I do want to know is, since about 2020, like you said, the shelters are so full because the inflation I'm talking about, it's been 20%. Have there been a lot more animals overwhelming the shelters because people can't even afford to pay for their own since about 2020. It's gone up 20%. They can't pay for even their own anything, so then they have to sacrifice their animals.
Well, there's no doubt, Marsha, that inflation affects us and goes from one end of the leash to the other end of the leash as well. But that being said, there are some amazing people out there doing amazing things. For example, there's low-cost veterinary care that's available for many people. there are companies out there that will donate food, and there are food banks out there and organizations that will supply food for those that may not be able to afford food for their dogs or cats. Maybe not enough of them, but they're out there as well. So in other words, there is help out there, but I agree with you 100% that with the inflation, and here's what I get. I have calls from listeners that call me that literally live in a truck or live in a van with their pets because they can't afford to go anywhere else. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. But there are organizations out there that will help. Can make a difference. Oh, but absolutely.
This has impinged. It is something that's made things worse for people and animals, the inflation, right?
No doubt in my mind. No, there's no doubt in my mind. Inflation, not only inflation, there was also the COVID scenario, which drives me crazy because a lot of people took dogs in during COVID, and then after they were feeling better and went back to work, they would bring the dog or cat to the shelter. It's like they borrowed a library book and returned it.
Exactly. People they're disgusting. They just use them. They don't think of them as a little life that, like, their family, or they love.
And now you know. Why the T-shirts. You know why the T-shirts I had made up said "None of my friends walk upright." It's just the way. And I love.
You donate the whatever it is, like to what you think is best to help in this situation. And I know it's even gotten worse when we have these tragedies where. I don't know. I always think about when I hear about the tragedies, like the hurricanes or whatever, and then I wonder, like, I hope the animals, and especially the ones that are in shelters. Do you know what happens to the animals?
Yeah, listen, I'm afraid I do. I put out a plea a week ago to donate to my Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. And the reason I put out that plea, there's some great organizations out there doing amazing work. But a lot of the small mom and pop rescues that were devastated, their rescue was flooded. But my Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, what we do is we raise the money to give to those small mom and pops that no one even knows exists. But I got to move on. But by the way, I'm going to donate your gift. Thank you for the call, by the way. But by the way, if anyone would like to continue and help me out, we're one of the only organizations really going after the small mom and pop groups. They're 501c3s. You may never heard of them. They're not getting the big donations from the big organizations. If you would like to help me, just go to my own 501c3 nonprofit, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. I guarantee you, you've been listening to me for a long time, I guarantee you that every single dollar will get donated to those animals that are in need all across Florida and North Carolina. Not one penny taken out in expenses. I will cover those expenses out of my own pocket. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to all of your phone calls. We are back. We're back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 870-5752. That is the way to get through. Plenty of time for you, because I'll talk more about Halloween safety next week. But be aware that there's a lot of dangers out there, between the chocolate and the theobromine and the costumes and all the other stuff out there. It's important to be really, really careful about your dogs and your cats during the season. By the way, in terms of dressing them up, my dogs are going to be butt naked. That's just the way it is. But if you have a dog that likes putting on a costume, keep him in the house, keep him safe. But if that's what you guys enjoy doing, I'm not going to deny you that. Just make sure that the dog enjoys it. It's not just for you and your smiles. 866-870-5752. Just before I get back to the phones, I want to remind everyone, if you're not following me on YouTube, check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Lots of great stuff there. A lot of stuff I can't talk about on the show. A lot of it short, a lot of it long. Check it out. It's all free. Subscribe, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. We're going to go to Jason, then we got Gracie, we got Tina. I got an open line or two, 866-870-5752. But right now, let's go to Jason in Santa Clarita. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. How you doing?
I'm doing super, Jason. How about you?
Not bad. Not bad at all. So I have a question. About 4 months ago, I was befriended by a beautiful orange stray tabby, and very, very, very skittish. So I set up a little station where he can get food and water, and I've been feeding him on a regular basis. And then after a while, as I would bring him his food, he would, of course, he'd back away, and then I'd feed him, and I'd back away. But he would hiss at me, and he did this a number of times. So finally, I hissed back at him, and he hasn't done it since. Did I do anything wrong? I mean, he still hangs around. He still gets his food. And he's getting nice and plump. And but he's made his home in my garage, and I kind of set up a little area in there. But I couldn't catch him, pet him, or do anything. I mean, but he's a real cool cat. I really like the guy. But
okay, so there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things going. No, first of all, I wouldn't recommend hissing at the cat. That's number one. Number two, is this a cat that you would like to adopt and make your own cat?
Oh, yeah. Eventually, yes, I would. He's way cool. So, I really like him. I mean,
now, can you touch him?
No, I cannot. I can't get anywhere near him.
Where is he sleeping?
In my garage.
Okay. What's he sleeping on?
I made up a little bed of old rags and and it's like in a corner of the garage, so he has shelter as far as, he has the roof of the garage, and then he's between, three other walls and stuff, and he has, of course, the front he can get out anytime he wants to. But I mean,
here's what I'd like you to do. What I'd like you to do is take some unwashed clothing of yours, an unwashed shirt, put it in the area where he's sleeping, so he's comfortable with your scent, even though you're not there. That's number one. What you may want to try is on the other end of the area where he is, if you have a radio you can put on, but barely audible, just kind of very low voices talking. Let me recommend the station, KRLA. Okay, but put it on a low volume at the opposite end so he gets used to the voices. And then what I would recommend doing is every day, if you have time, just go in there. I had to do this for 6 months with a dog. Now, cat may adapt a lot easier. Sit in there at a distance from him. Just have a conversation. Give him a name. How you doing? And leave him wanting. After a couple of minutes, walk away. Maybe throw down a treat and walk away. I want this cat to start associating only positive things with you. Not the hissing that you did, but only positive things. So spend a couple of minutes talking. Hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Walk out of the room. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. Walk out of the room. The next day, little by little, the more time he spends picking up on your scent from the clothing you put down, the voices that are not threatening to him because they're coming from another side, and you sitting there in a short period of time just saying a couple of words and walking out, that self-esteem, that confidence will build up. I've rescued literally, I don't want to give you a number, but I've rescued probably 1,600 feral stray cats out there. Not all going to be bosom buddies of mine, but I got every one of them to at least accept being touched and in many cases being held. So it can be done. I can tell right off the bat that once you break that barrier, once this cat has that self-confidence, once the cat has the self-esteem, the next question is going to be, Warren, I can't go to sleep. The cat's jumping on me in my bed. So it's going to work out fine with you. Just a little bit of patience goes a long way. Every once in a while, a glass of Chardonnay when you're talking to the cat won't hurt either. So let me do this. What I'd like to do is I'm going to put you, my glasses back on so I can see. I am going to put you on hold, Jason, and the lovely Suzette. And for those of you, Suzette's the person that answers your calls, that gives you the gifts. She's just pretty amazing. To put up with me and Alex, she should have a halo over her head. Anyway, Jason, don't go in on go ahead.
Yeah,
what were you going to say?
So I did name him. His name's Mongo, and so I did name him. And the other thing too is that he's never meowed in all the months I've known him. Not one single meow, nothing. And
you have to remember this was an outdoor cat, so sometimes vocalizations could mean he was being challenged. So until he has that confidence and gains that confidence, the meowing may go. Anyway, I'm going to put you on hold, and the lovely Suzette's going to pick up, and I am going to send you a copy of how to get your cat to do what you want. There's some great information there. In the meantime, till you get the book, because it takes a while to get there, you can go to my website, thepetshow.com. This goes for everyone out there. You can go to youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Everything's free there, but there's lots of great articles. So when I'm giving you a book's going to cover a lot more, but there's some great little tips there that might be able to help you until the book arrives. And sometimes it doesn't happen in a week or so. It takes like 2-3 weeks to get there. But anyway, great call. Jason, I adore you. I adore anyone that has the ability to be analytical and say, what can I do to make the situation better? I know the cat. He's not blaming it on the cat. He's blaming it on himself, which when in doubt, any good therapist like me would tell you to blame it on mom and dad. But this cat will come around. It's just going to take some time and some patience, but the hissing, not a great idea. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. By the way, if you're looking for the Hugs and Kisses, they're back in stock at Amazon. So check out the Hugs and Kisses supplements at Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or thepetshow.com. They're available right now. Let me do this. Let me take a break. When I come back, Gracie, you'll be up next in Agora. And then we're going to go to Tina in Walnut, 866-870-5752. I'm kind of in shock a little bit today. I thought you guys have been listening to me for, 45 years almost, that people would respond to whether or not their dog or cat likes kisses. That's the question. Does your dog or cat like to be kissed, or do they just tolerate it? Give me a call if you get through. Maybe I'll send you some hugs and kisses for your dog. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Don't be afraid to admit it. Do you kiss your dog or do you kiss your cat? And do they like it? Give me a call, 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to the Pet. Warren Eckstein, 866-870-KRLA. I posted this on my Facebook pages and also my Instagram, and it's facebook.com slash Warren Eck ECK, facebook.com/Warren Eck ECK. That's my newer Facebook page. That's where you should go. Facebook.com/Warren Eck. I posted this there on Instagram as well. Don't miss the Pet Show, where dogs and cats are allowed to be dogs and cats, not perfect, just like the people they live with. It always drives me crazy when I want the perfect dog, I want the perfect cat, and I always tell them, take a look in the mirror. How imperfect are you? Let me do this. Let me get back to the busy phone lines here. Let's go to Gracie in Agora. Hi, Gracie. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call.
It is absolutely my pleasure. What can I do for you?
So we have a 3-year-old rescue that we've had for about 3 months. He's a German Shepherd and Belgian Malinois mix. Great dog in almost every way, except for he doesn't get along with other dogs. As soon as when we're on a walk, he sees other dogs. He starts hyperventilating and goes into kill mode. And we've spent lots of money on formal training classes. We almost have to go on walks with a muzzle because just for everybody's protection. And
let me ask you a question. Yeah. You worked with professional trainers. You've gone through professional training. What did you pay for?
We paid for the training session for 12 training sessions.
But it's not. But obviously, it's not. You're not overly concerned of whether the dog sits and stays. You're concerned about the dog's aggressive behavior towards other dogs. What was done to resolve that?
They told us. They told us a couple of different techniques. Basically, when he starts being, hyperventilating, almost getting agitated as soon as he sees the dog, we're supposed to, do turns and keep moving, not stay still.
Okay.
And he wears a prong collar. We have,
So let me ask you a question. No. Yeah. Let me ask you a question, okay? So the dog's being assertive or aggressive towards another dog. He has spikes around his neck, right? And you pull him back when he sees another dog or turn around. So he associates his assertive behavior towards the other dog with pain around his neck. How is that going to make him happy around other dogs?
Well, we've also been told to use treats. as a way of diversion.
Well, no. If he's barking or being aggressive towards another dog, and you give him a treat as a diversion, you're reinforcing the fact that he's being aggressive towards another dog.
Well, no, we don't give the treat when he's being aggressive. We turn him around if he calms down or if he gets distracted.
But the reason you're turning him around is because he was aggressive to another dog, right?
Right, correct.
So, in other words, he's still getting reinforced with that behavior. Not the greatest advice I've ever heard. Number one, good, solid, basic training is critical. Now, good, solid, basic training doesn't mean that the dog's like Rin Tin Tin in your backyard and your living room. It means that the dog understands how to behave in other distracted situations, like coming across other dogs. Let me go back a step. You rescued a dog 3 months ago. Bless you for doing that. This is a combination of breeds I'm very familiar with, the Malinois and the German Shepherd. What was the dog's background before you adopted him?
Nobody knows because he was a stray.
Okay, so therefore, in other words, for this dog to survive on the streets, he had to be aggressive and assertive towards other dogs based on survival instinct. So what we need to do right now is we need to make him feel when other dogs are around, something positive is going to happen. One of the trainers was right. Don't stop, continue walking, but don't turn around. Continue walking in the same direction. If you want to say it's none of your concern, say it's none of his concern. What I would do right now, if you were to hire me, I'm not available, but if you were to hire me, I would re-solidify all the basic training. I would start using the basic training around situations that might be distracting and then work at those specific points. That's the way to resolve it. What they're doing right now is they're using deterrent behavior. They're not using resolution behavior. That's a term I came up with years ago. A lot of trainers use deterrent behavior. This is how you stop your dog. This is how you stop your dog. I believe let's figure out why the dog is doing it and let's resolve it once and for all. So I think you need to go a little bit further. If you can find a trainer that's going to work with you in a very positive way, get rid of the prong collar. The treat's not the way to go, but a good, positive, good boy, pat on the head, hugs and kisses approach. Little by little, you will come around. But that's who you need to find right now. Nothing specifically I'm going to tell you other than the fact that you've made a lot of errors based on advice. And more importantly, there's a reason why your dog is aggressive. He had to survive on the streets. And to survive on the streets, and he might have been there as a puppy, he might have been there longer, I don't know.
Right. So you would recommend losing the prong collar?
If you have someone you're working with that's qualified, I would definitely suggest. I'm not a big prong collar fan. I mean, I used to fight with people in Europe because the Germans used a lot of prong collars. Do they work? Yeah, they do work. Why? Why do you think a prong collar works?
It's like discomfort.
Exactly. So how does discomfort? If a dog is already upset with another dog and you're making the dog more discomfort, giving the dog more discomfort because of that, how's that a resolution? Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you a copy of the book, but I want you to find yourself, ask your vet, find yourself a good, positive trainer that's working with you on the problem resolution. Not just stopping, but resolving that problem for you. It's a tough call. God, I wish I was training. Alex, I need more strength. I wish I was training again. God, it's unbelievable. But some of the mistakes that people make, give them a treat, put a prong collar on them, use this, use that, rather than focus on why. The dog is aggressive because he's had bad experiences with other dogs. Let's take this dog now and give him only good experiences when he's around other dogs. That's the way to resolve the issue. Quick break. When we come back, Gracie, you'll be up next. I'm sorry. Tina, you'll be up next. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. I'm Warren Eckstein. We are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Tina, I'm going to take your call. Just a reminder, when I get off the air here, I do my international show for Radio America, Armed Forces Radio. Write this number down. In case I don't get to your call, you can start calling this number at 1 o'clock. It's 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Same type of show, same type of prizes I give away, gifts rather. 877-725-8255. But don't start calling that number till 1 o'clock. It goes to Radio America out of Washington, D.C. Hey, Tina, welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing, Warren?
I'm doing good. I got like a minute and a half. What can I do for you?
Okay, so since you're limited time, I just wanted to make a couple of quick comments. First of all, I do have two kitties that absolutely love being kissed. So I will admit,
all right,
I do love to give them kisses, and they don't flinch the minute they see my face coming towards them. They just love it, and that's that. I've got two of those. But for the guy that called a little while ago regarding the cat that he's trying to get to trust him. I work with a lot of the ferals in my area, and I try and keep them socialized so that if I do have an opportunity to find them at home, I will. I take toys with me to the parking lot where I feed my feral cats, and I play with them. I take like a little climbing tower and some laser toys and some little rattle mice, and I try and engage them. And it took a while, but maybe almost a year. I think I've got all my feral cats in that colony.
Hey, Tina, do you have some time? Can you call me on the next show?
Sure.
All right, write this number down: 877-725-8255. Start calling on 1 o'clock.
725-8255.
Yeah, let it ring and ring. It goes to Washington, D.C. They're pretty slow in Washington, D.C., as you well know. So give them some time to answer it, but start calling, and I will make sure it'll be my first call when we get there. Okay, I appreciate that. So don't go anywhere. Thank you. We'll help Tina out there, and Tina looks like she has some great advice. We are out of time. I don't know where the hours go. Check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Check out my website, thepetshow.com. Lots of great information there. Everything there is free. The same thing with youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Our special Halloween show next week. Until then, give all your pets a big, big hug and a kiss for you. One between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein. And once again, thank you for listening to The Pet